guys, it's Gwyneth, and in today's video I'm gonna be doing what to read the spring video, or just like my spring TBR. So I've done one of these for summer of last year and also fall of last year, so I thought it would be a really fun idea to bring this back and do a what to read for spring, or just like books I want to read this spring. These are just some books that I've checked out from the library that like I'm interested in reading, so I'm just gonna like go over them and like what I think they'll be about, and like the synopsis and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get started. So first, I have this book. By the way, these are all checked out from the library, so yeah. The library is a great way to like read new books, so you don't have to like buy them. But also another cool option is like to go to like a second-hand bookstore, if for a way to like acquire new books. Like it's really interesting to see like what selection they have there. So yeah, first I have this book. It's called Something Real. So yeah. Here's the back. Okay. So I think it's supposed to be like about like a reality television show or something, which I thought was pretty interesting. I don't really watch a lot of reality TV, but a reality TV show I have watched is Laguna Beach. It was kind of like based on, like, if you know the OC, like with Adam Brody and what's her name? Rachel Bilson. It's like also another show like centered in Orange County, except it's like more of a reality show. So they basically like film like the students' lives like at their homes, or like at their workplaces, or like at school and stuff like that. So yeah, first I'm gonna read the synopsis here. It says, "There's something real about reality TV. 17-year-old Bonnie Baker has grown up on TV. She and her 12 siblings are the stars of the one-time hit reality show Baker's Dozen. Since the show's cancellation and the scandal surrounding it, Bonnie has tried to live a normal life, under the radar and out of the spotlight. But it's all about to fall apart because Baker's Dozen is going back on the air. Neither her mother nor the show's producers will let Bonnie quit, and soon the life she has so carefully built for herself, with real friends, and maybe even a real boyfriend, is in danger of being destroyed by the show. Bonnie needs to do something drastic if her life is going to be her own, even if it means being more exposed than ever before." So I thought this book was pretty cool. I haven't like seen anyone read it. It didn't seem like that popular, but it is like in the YA genre, and I thought it was a really cool like concept and stuff. And I'm pretty sure like I saw someone like post about it on Instagram like back in the day. It was like a long time ago, but I just remember seeing this title and I was like very intrigued by it. So yeah, this is the first book on this list. So the next book I have is The Way You Make Me Feel by Marine Gu. I've like seen this like book cover around, but yeah, like I never really knew what the book was about. And here's the side of the book, and here's the back. It's really pretty. Like I really love the colors, like the blue and the pink. So yeah, it's cool. Yeah, a lot of these books are like also in the YA genre. I do read like other genres besides YA. Like sometimes I read classics, where they read like for school or just like for fun and stuff. But yeah, these are just like some books that like I found like in my room that I wanted to show you guys. Okay, here's a synopsis. It said 16-year-old Clara Shin doesn't take life too seriously, but when she pushes one joke too far, her dad sentences her to a summer working on his food truck, The Cove. Clara was supposed to go on vacation to Tulum to visit her social media influencer mom. She was supposed to spend lazy days at the pool with her butt. Being stuck in a sweaty Korean Brazilian food truck all day, every day, worse still, working alongside her nemesis Rose Carver. Not the carefree summer Clara had imagined. But as time goes on, it turns out that maybe Rose isn't so bad. Maybe the boy named Hamlet, who's crushing on Clara, is pretty. Maybe Clara actually feels invested in her dad's business. What if taking this summer seriously means that Clara has to leave her old self behind? With her signature warmth and humor, Marine Gu delivers a relatable story of falling in love and finding yourself in the places you never thought to live. So yeah, I guess it's like your typical like YA novel, which I read a lot of. I know like they're not like for everyone, and they can be a little cheesy, but I find them like really like fun summer reads, just like reading like YA books and stuff that like don't take themselves too seriously. But yeah, I definitely want to like branch out into like reading like a lot of different genres this year. And I'm also trying to write a novel, even though that isn't really going so well. I only read like the first 10 pages. So yeah. So that's that for this book. And then I have this book, Felix Ever After by, sorry, I can't see this, Kacen Callender. So yeah, here's the cover. Oh, and her, the last one also reminds me of, like Jenny Calendar from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's just a random side note. I love bringing up Buffy the Vampire Slayer in everyday conversation. Oh, here's a synopsis. Yeah, I do read a lot of like cheesy YA books, if you couldn't tell. Felix Love has never been in love, and yes, he's painfully aware of the irony. He desperately wants to know what it's like and why it seems so easy for everyone but him to find someone. What's worse is that, even though he is proud of his identity, Felix also secretly fears that he's one marginalization too many, Black, queer, and transgender, to ever get his own happily ever after. When in a nod, the student begins sending him transphobic messages after publicly posting Felix's dead name alongside images of him before he transitioned. Felix comes up with a plan for revenge. What he didn't count on, his catfish scenario landing him in a quasi-love triangle. But as he navigates his complicated feelings, Felix begins a journey of questioning and self-discovery that helps redefine his most important relationship, how he feels about himself. Felix Ever After is an honest and layered story about identity, falling in love, and recognizing the love you deserve. So yeah, this is like, I guess like a YA novel that does focus on like a more heavy topic of like transphobia and bullying and stuff like that. And like I do like love reading more like diverse books as well, because like definitely when like I was in like my middle school era, I did read a lot of the like dystopians that were like, they weren't necessarily popular at the time, because this was like 2017, 2018. But like they were popular to me at the time, like The Hunger Games, Divergent, like The Maze Runner, and like Twilight and stuff like that. And there's definitely not a lot of like representation in those books in my opinion, even though I did enjoy them in middle school and like still have fond memories of like reading the books and watching the movies now. But like I guess these days I do want to branch out and like read and like consume like lots of different media. And also I guess like if I ever like publish like a book or something, to like have like more diverse characters in my book. So yeah, here's that book. This next book is She's Too Pretty to Burn by Wendy Hurd. I was really drawn to this book because like I love the cover. I think it's really pretty, but I don't really know what this book is about. It's probably another YA book, because I often do go to the YA section, since I am like a teenager, I guess. But I guess if I got older and like still like read books often, I would probably want to branch out more to the adult section. So yeah. Oh, and also the pages here are a little crumpled. That's pretty. I don't think that was me who did that, but maybe, I don't know. Here's a synopsis. So the summer is winding down in San Diego. Veronica is bored, caustically charismatic, and uninspired in her photography. Ego is insatiable, subversive, and obsessed with chaotic performance art. They're artists first, best friends second, but that was before Mick. Delicate, lonely, magnetic, the perfect subject, and Veronica's dream girl. The days are long and hot, full of adventure, and soon they are falling in love. Falling so hard they never imagine what comes next. One fire, 2 murders, 3 drowning bodies, 1 suspect, 1 stalker. This is the summer they won't survive. Inspired by the picture of Dorian Gray, this sexy psychological thriller explores the intersections of love, art, danger, and power. So yeah, that's like a really cool premise and stuff. And I've actually never read The Picture of Dorian Gray. I'm pretty sure like in like my junior year of high school, which would have been last year, like there was like another like class, English class that I didn't take. I'm pretty sure they read that book, but I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, I think that like the premise of like the kind of like murder, it's not like a murder mystery, it's like, yeah, like a psychological thriller is like really interesting and not something that you see a lot in YA, so that's cool. Okay, and this next book is actually a sequel, and it's Just One Year by Gail Forman. I did read like the first book in the series. I think it's basically about like a girl who like goes like to Europe and like meets someone and they like fall in love over the course of one day, which is like really cheesy and like probably wouldn't like happen in real life, and if it did, like that would be a little creepy. But yeah, I guess like in the context of YA, it is like a fun summer read, and I'm pretty sure I read it around the like summer fall time. So yeah, here's the synopsis of this book though. It says, when he opens his eyes, Willem doesn't know where in the world he is. Probably sorry, I can't pronounce words. Dubrovnik or back in Amsterdam. All he knows is that he is once again alone, and he needs to find a girl named Lulu. They shared one magical day in Paris, and something about that girl, makes Willem wonder if they aren't fated to be together. He travels all over the world, from Mexico to India, hoping to reconnect with her. But as months go by and Lulu remains elusive, Willem starts to question whether the hand of fate is as strong as he thought. The romantic, emotional companion to Just One Day, this is a story of the choices we make and the accidents that happen, and the happiness we can find when the two intersect. So yeah, I think the first book was told by the girl's perspective. I think her name's like Allison or something, even though she like goes by Lulu in this book. I don't know. It's kind of cringe, but yeah, it's very like early 2010s YA culture, I guess.